Of course, it's a real discussion about the script. When the door was snapped closed, I reached out and put my arms around Jaden's neck, pulling his head down. My eyes were foggy, and my voice was soft. Jaden raised his eyebrows slightly. At that time, a few buttons of his collar were unbuttoned, revealing a large area of his collarbone and chest. My gaze fixated on him, and I could feel my face burning. Even the place that my fingers touched was burning. He chuckled in a low voice. Okay, let's discuss the script then. It's not as soon as I spoke. Jaden stepped forward, pressed me against the wall, locked my chin abruptly, lowered his head, and started kissing me. My whole body trembled, and I tiptoed to kiss him back. A moment later, his lips pressed against mine while rubbing them softly. His voice was hoarse. Yahir looked at Wenna. She exposes all the scars in front of him, and her watery eyes are covered with a mist of humiliation. His first reaction is not to wipe her tears away, but to kiss her. Jaden sealed my lips again. Possess her! He picked me up horizontally and took me to the bed, and then his body got on top of mine. Just like this. Jaden gnawed at my chin gently. Like this. He went further down and kissed my collarbone passionately. I looked up at him, and the mist in my eyes became thicker. My body trembled violently. He gulped, and his fingertips lifted my shoulder straps with extreme restraint. His slightly cold hand slipped down, and his breath was vague and hoarse. And like this, too. I did not expect it. Jaden really discussed the script with me all night. The discussion made my voice hoarse. The next day, as soon as I woke up consciously, I saw that Jaden was wearing a shirt. His physique was well built, with muscles covering his slender body evenly. He looked lean in his outfit, yet he could flash his figure without an outfit too. I licked my lips, and my eyes were burning with desire. The next second, a familiar breath engulfed me. A kiss fell between my eyebrows gently. The crew of Bewitching Concubine is expected to officially start in a month. It's a film mainly focused on the female lead. You will be exhausted at that time. Have a good rest the next few days, and I will take care of other things. I was stunned for a second and then asked happily, did they confirm me as the leading actress? Jaden curled his thin lips upward with amusement overflowing in his eyes as he said, Natalie, we shall have another good time working together. I looked at him, and my red lips curled upward. I wrapped my arms around his neck and jumped on him directly. That month, I did not have a good rest. As Jaden told me, do not ask why. The Bewitching Concubine was about to start filming. As the leading actor and leading actress, we should concentrate on discussing the script. There was one time when I mentioned to Jaden that I had misunderstood him and Suzette, and I was so ashamed that I buried myself in the quilt. Hearing that, Jaden was slightly stunned. He pulled me out of the quilt with a red face. His beautiful eyebrows knitted tightly and stared at me with his deep eyes. Didn't you see any of the text messages I sent you? My eyes widened, and my heartbeat went faster, uncontrollably. What text message? I blocked his number on WhatsApp and Twitter that day, but his phone number was not blacklisted. However, I threw the card away directly. Even if I restored it now, I was afraid I could not find those text messages I received before. I threw the card away that day. What did you send me? I was curious. Jaden avoided my gaze and got up abruptly. He said in a low voice, I'm going to take a shower in the bathroom. I wanted to stop him, but he walked fast. Before he left, he seemed to take a look at his phone. I blinked and immediately understood his hint. I could not read what he sent to me, but I couldn't read from the sender's phone. My heart beat fast, as if it was going to jump out of my chest. I picked up his phone and accidentally touched the fingerprint. The phone was unlocked immediately. I was stunned and looked in the direction of the bathroom door, wondering when Jaden saved my fingerprints into his phone. Although I felt that respecting the privacy of each other was a common understanding for a couple, a faint smile still crept onto my face. My heart seemed to be wrapped in layers of joy. He knew how to make me smile. I loved him so much. Then, I clicked open the text message and found the messages he sent. Jaden hardly sent any text messages, except for a few working replies. The rest of the messages were all sent to me. I found those sent on the 20th of May. Natalie, I was filming just now. I didn't send that Twitter post. Soon, another message was sent. I've asked Caleb to clarify it. After that, he would send me a text message every day, but it was always a short sentence. Where are you? Finally, it was the latest one. Jaden seemed to be drunk or something, and he sent it without correcting the typo. Natalie, I like ya so much. I looked at the word like ya in a daze, and my fingers and heart trembled uncontrollably. Eunice said that Jaden never drank alcohol. I wondered if he was drunk because he could not find me, or he wanted to act cute after being serious for a long time. Some strange scenes flashed across my mind. I shook my head quickly, thinking that the idea of Jaden being drunk was more logical. The day before the filming, Quaid suddenly came to me, and Jaden happened to go out to buy me oatmeal. When Quaid saw the man's slippers placed in front of my house, his expression stiffened slightly. Did you two live together? I did not deny it. I leaned against the door lazily and did not intend to let him enter the house. What can I do for you? He fixed his gaze on my face and made a difficult sound in his throat. If stop. I raised my eyebrows and said, let's not talk about the past few years. When you pursued me back then, I never wanted to be with you. Why? I straightened my back, and the corners of my lips were slightly raised. There was no sarcasm. I just stated the facts calmly. You are a scumbag. He pursed his thin lips tightly and was about to say something when I continued to speak in a cold voice. After winning the Best Director award 5 years ago, you wanted to take advantage of the opportunity and make another movie with the same theme. But you couldn't get any investment because everyone was waiting. Only one person reached out to help you, with a condition that you would get together with his daughter, who admired you for a long time. I continued. You were pursuing me while being together with her. Tell me if you were a jerk. What's more ridiculous is that you thought you were hiding it well from the 2 women you were dealing with. I paused and suddenly raised my chin to look at him. Do you want to guess who told me the number of your hotel room? Quaid stood still. His pupils narrowed, and his body stiffened. I glanced at the time and thought Jaden was about to come back. I said to Quaid, who was stunned, okay. Let bygones be bygones. The Bewitching Concubine is going to start filming tomorrow. Mr. Campbell, aren't you busy? I wanted him to leave right away if he was busy. Quaid was stunned for a while before he came back to his senses. He pursed his lips again when he heard my words and hesitated to say, I have some bad news to tell you. I gasped and asked, what bad news? The investor wants to change the lead actress. Quaid lowered his eyes slightly. At that moment, I had a name in my mind, but I still asked, who is replacing me? Quaid looked at me with complicated emotions in his eyes and replied slowly, Xiana. Again, it was Xiana. It seemed that I had not heard the name for a long time since I was with Jaden. Then, I opened the top trending topic. The first post was Quaid announced the change of the lead actress of The Bewitching Concubine. The second post was how incredible Xiana's resources are. The third post was Yell talked about his feelings of not being popular. My eyes flickered slightly. In fact, after the last incident, I was going to question Xiana directly. But Jaden told me something that shocked me. Xiana was Eunice's wife. What are you thinking about? A cold and low voice sounded in my ears. My thoughts were suddenly interrupted, and I replied casually, I'm thinking about Eunice. Before I could finish my words, his breath engulfed me, and he wrapped my waist with his long arms to let me sit on his lap. Jaden's eyes were filled with impending danger. Eunice? I gulped and subconsciously completed the last words of the sentence. His wife. Jaden's eyes relaxed as if he had thought of something. He looked down at me and asked, what's wrong with Xiana? I looked at him and said through gritted teeth, she stole my role in Bewitching Concubine. She wanted to work with you. Hearing that, Jaden frowned. He lowered his eyes and thought for a long time before saying, maybe she'll give it up soon. I was confused. What do you mean? Maybe Jaden himself felt that there was no logic in his words. He pursed his thin lips and decided to start telling from the beginning. Eunice and Xiana have been a couple since they were at the university. They were both good-looking and were a perfect match together. They got married right after graduation and had been together for 6 years. Nonetheless, they did not disclose it to the media. I forgot to mention that Xiana was the eldest daughter of the owner of Splendor Corp. It was just a matter of words if she wanted to play the role in Bewitching Concubine. A few years ago, Xiana had a car accident, which seemed to hurt her brain. She kept talking nonsense all day, such as the leading actor and the supporting actress. When she woke up, her taste seemed to have changed. She had never used perfume before, but now she liked it very much, especially the jasmine-scented perfume. It was worth mentioning that her eyes lit up when she saw Jaden, and she was more enthusiastic about Jaden than Eunice. In recent months, Xiana's condition seemed to be getting worse.